Niloo is a doctoral researcher, again in ERBE, who has done a Bachelor of Architecture and a Master's with Architecture and Energy. And then she worked as an architect in Iran. And she has published in the Journal of Daylighting and the International Journal of Architecture and Planning on passive energy demand reduction strategies. Today, Niloo will be presenting. Okay, let's welcome Niloo.
Yeah, my today's presentation is mainly on my pilot study, but the main topic is an evaluation of differentiating devices to mitigate summertime overheating in naturally ventilated houses in the UK. But to give a background, overheating in the UK homes is becoming a pressing issue, has become a pressing issue in recent years, and it is now a growing threat to the health and well-being of people in the UK. And the number of people who are dying from heat-related disease is growing. So because of that, different documents and guidelines have been released to address this issue. And based on Part O's definition, the occurrence of high indoor temperature should be reduced to combat with his health and to combat with the health heat-related disease in the houses. And this is achievable just by limiting the unwanted solar heat gains in the house, and also to remove excess heat air from indoor environment. And this is achievable just by, and one of the solutions is using external shadings, which is not very common in UK buildings. The main aim of the study, the PhD project, is to quantify the effect of different external shadings to mitigate overheating. But during my pilot study, I mostly focus on the to develop a method for my main project, which is next summer, to face the challenges and to just find any possible errors I will face during my main experiment. For that, my main objectives for this pilot study first was to assess the similarity of the test houses, and then to evaluate the impact of excluding solar radiation. And my case study, as you may know, is the Ashborough test house, which is one of the common type of the building houses in the UK. For data collection, I had 4 main phases and 1 pre-test phase. You can see the picture of the house for each phase. Phase 1 was when all the windows were clear. For phase 2, I covered the west house windows, and then all the windows, and then just the east house. I used LCS room sensors for indoor dry bulb and relative humidity measurements, and U-type thermistors, which were at the center of black globes for measurements measuring operative temperature at 1-minute interval, and also outdoor dry bulb temperature, which was measured in the house garden. The LCS room sensors were connected to Watson's console, and I had the live access to the data, but the thermistors, which were measuring operative temperature, were connected to DT85 data logger, and all the sensors were placed in the volumetric center of each room to have an average temperature for every space. Then for the findings, first step, we had raw data from both houses. Then I had to check data for any missing data values or any outliers. And this figure is quite interesting because it shows the different phases and how temperature is changing during each phase. And this is for the living room. And you can see how when the windows are covered or when they are not covered, the houses are acting similar, quite similar. And then when we cover one of the houses, how effective is the covering. Then I had to check the weather data as well. It was measured in the house on site, but I asked the Crest weather station to share their data with me, and I checked my measured data with another weather stations, and it was quite similar with some errors. I also checked another website, which is the data is not here. And the other thing I've checked is during the pretest is the proper orientation of the black globes. I installed the black globes at the center of the living room, which receives the solar radiation more than others, and I monitored the air temperature for a couple of days to find out the best orientation. And this is the result, and it shows that the black globe, which is facing the window, has the higher temperature among others, and it is because of the fact that the operative temperature is based on the radiation the sensor receives from the other surfaces. So when the sensor is not seeing the window, the output is not that much realistic. So we just install the sensors in all the spaces in a manner that all the sensors face the window. And to answer the first objective, that how similar are the test houses, which is phase 1 and phase 3, I got this figure that shows this is like the temperature difference in the similar room in both houses, and it's interesting that the fluctuations are between minus and +1, and it is close to 0 apart from one of the rooms. And for when the windows are clear and when the windows are covered, we have like a downward trend at the beginning, and then they have the similar pattern, and it's quite close to 0. Mean error and mean absolute errors are less than half a degree, and the largest error is for dining room, and for other rooms is even less than half a degree. And what's the impact of excluding solar radiation? That when we cover one of the houses, we can have a comparison between both houses as they are a matched pair, and the results are here showing that the covering the window has an impact, which is promising, especially in the rooms which are facing south. But it is still effective even in the rooms which are in back, and even in the single bedroom, which has a small window. For example, in the I don't have the table, but in the front bedroom and in the living room, it is about 4 degrees different. There's about 4 degrees difference between two houses. That shows the effect of covering the window. And this is for the for phase 4, which is the reverse. And then I had a to-do list that what should I do for my next year experiment. First of all, of course, the houses are matched pair, and but there is still difference between the surrounding area, and we should consider that we should have an on-site weather station to collect the on-site weather data. To go more into detail, just by looking at the hottest day, we can see that the temperature is peak, the temperature maximum in the room is happening sooner than the maximum temperature in the outdoor. So it is possibly because of the solar radiation, direct solar radiation. Then I asked the CREST weather data. Then I use the CREST weather data, and you can see that direct normal irradiation, maximum direct normal irradiation has happened like 3 hours before the maximum temperature in the room. So it is necessary to have on-site weather data when we want to have a more accurate analysis. Another point is that during phase 3, all the rooms has an downward trend during the first day, and then it is like more cyclical pattern after that. So this is because of the time the house needs to be more stable before starting the next experiment. And now I know that I should consider gap like for 1 or 2 days between each experiment for my next year that have more accurate findings, or I should exclude these results for my analysis. And this table just shows the effect of room orientation and room windows. You can see that living room has the difference in living rooms when one of the houses are covered is more than 4 degrees, and in front of the room, which is also in south, is around 4 degrees. But for example, single bedroom is also facing south, but because the windows are smaller and the glazing area is not that much, and so it doesn't have the same effect. And the rooms which are in the back do not have the same effect of the covering window. And the last thing was that during my experiment, during phase 3, when all the house was totally dark, I just saw this spark in the kitchen, that it was because of some maintenance was doing in the kitchen, and it just ruined the data for like 2 or 3 days. So the thing that I should consider is that there should be a stricter scheduling or access control to the house when the main experiment is going on. We should consider that. Thank you. Is there any question?